Well, friends, it looks like we got yet another battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated trailer, this time with a focus on the most badass squirrel in the game, Sandy Cheeks. Let's discuss what we found right now.
I got hot sauce in my bag, swag.
Hello there, beautiful human. My name is RidersDX. Welcome to my channel. Where today we've got a Sandy focused battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated trailer that just came out, and wow, there's just every time I see this game, I just get more and more excited for its release. And you know what? Its release date is coming really close each passing day, and so it's just a really exciting time, folks. And I'm really looking forward to finally getting this game in my hands and celebrating its release with you all. So I can't wait. But let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer.
Time to stop yapping and get to it!
Who puts challenges in their own dreams?
Squirrels? We're tough like that.
So number one, the first thing I want to mention is that we got another look at the Dutchman's graveyard. We've been getting a lot of the Dutchman's graveyard, particularly in these trailers actually, now that I think about it. I feel like I've been commenting on it for so many times already. But one thing I want to point out here is that you can see better here the foggy effect that they have around the level. As you can see, there's that green aura. It kind of just covers the background. And I've mentioned this before and I'll reiterate it again. I'm not a really big fan of this detail. I think it kind of makes sense in the Dutchman's graveyard in particular because it kind of gives off that really ghostly vibe to it. And so if there's a level where it makes sense, it's this one. But I personally prefer the original where you could see like all the things in the background a lot more clearly, and I was actually really looking forward to seeing that even more in this remake, because with today's graphics and such, it'd be so cool to see all the things in the background, like those advanced like graphics. And so no, just something I'm kind of disappointed in, but it seems like an artistic direction that they decided to take, and so I will give it a chance and see if I can get used to it and see if I can enjoy it in the end. It just doesn't look right to me though, personally, and so I'm not really a big fan of this. Also, one thing I want to notice is that spring over there is kind of just like floating in the air. In the original game, there was a plank that it was on top of, and so I'm not sure if this is a graphical glitch or if the fog is so big that it's covering the platform. I kind of doubt the second one, but it looks kind of odd there, I'm not gonna lie. And number two, we gotta look at Sand Mountain, and oh my gosh, Sand Mountain looks so gorgeous in this section. It looks so much better without that foggy effect that we got in the other trailer. Like, come on, this is what I'm talking about. I know this is a hub area, and so there's not really much you can fog out. It's a pretty closed space, but just seeing how the backgrounds aren't fogged out and that you can see some of the details of the backgrounds here compared to the other trailer, it looks so much better. Like, I love seeing all the different like mountains and such in the background. It just makes this world seem so much bigger, and that foggy effect just kind of closes it in a little bit more, and so that's why I don't really like it. And then I also really like the blue color scheme that they chose for this one. It really suits Sand Mountain well, and it looks really good. One thing to note of though is that there's this weird blue line in the background, and I'm not really sure that's intentional or if that's like a glitch, but it looks kind of weird to me. I'm not really sure if that was something that was in the original game. I kind of doubt it was, but I'll show a comparison here just to see it for yourself. But yeah, that's a bit of a weird thing that they have going on there. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. And number three, we got to see a little bit more Sandy's Dream, and the thing I want to point out here is this skybox. I have to say, after like seeing multiple trailers of this and seeing this shot in particular, I'm really not a big fan of the skybox. For some reason, it kind of looks goofy in this section over here when you're swinging to that island with Sandy in particular. Like, there's just something about it that just makes it seem so out of place and just like not right. Like, it looks like the island is something that's like a sore eyesight in the background. Like, the background's colors just don't match very well to that island, and so I'm not really a big fan of it here. But that's why I'm really looking forward to seeing the final game, because as you all know, they're changing the skybox and they're making the color a little bit more consistent and also adding Texas in the background background. So that's gonna make this environment just pop out so much more and look so much better. But you know, the more I see the skybox, the more I kind of like don't like it, unfortunately. And number 4, we got to see the interior of the cow head in Sandy's dream, and wow, unlike the skybox, this looks extremely gorgeous. You know, it looks just like the original, but it's got a bit of a glow up, like the stars are like kind of shining, I guess, over here. It might just be the lighting, but it looks really good over here, and it kind of just makes it seem like, wow, you survived that whole long portion of the slide set, and now you get to be rewarded with this secret interior section that you didn't know was here. And so I think that's just really cool that they brightened it up a little bit just to make it seem a little bit more special, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what it looks like on the inside. And number 5, I wanted to point this really small detail out here, but with the manure trucks, something that I think they could improve over here is that they could add the flies that were roaming around it in the original game, because in the original game you had the manure trucks there, but when you jumped on top of them you had flies like flying around the manure, and that's not apparent over here. Now, as we all know at this point, this is an older build because it obviously doesn't have that Texas in the background, and so maybe this is a detail that they can still add as well. I just think it kind of adds to the culture, I guess, of manure and Texas in general. So I really think that that's just a small detail that they can add to spice it up a little bit. And number 6, we got to see a little bit more of the Dutchman's graveyard, but we get this section over here where Sandy is like traveling from the Dutchman ship to the robot ship, and when Sandy jumps on those platforms, you notice how the platforms immediately break upon stepping on them. This is actually kind of different from the original game. When you stepped on it in the original game, they kind of just stayed there for a few seconds and then they would fall, but it looks like in this game they fall immediately. So this is actually a change that would make the game a little bit harder, which is something that I know a lot of people have been talking about because they felt like that this game was making a lot of changes that was making this game easier. And so it's kind of an interesting design choice. I'm not really sure what to make of it, but you know, I've played this game so many times, I think I'll be fine with the little change. I will say it looks a little bit strange when it does collapse, so I think that's just an animation that they need to work on, because I don't know, there's just something about it that I think could make it a little bit more smooth. But yeah, I thought this was one of the more interesting changes that I found over here. And number 7, before we leave this scene, you know, if you look at the bottom of the robot ship, you can see that it's got that little rocket with some fire coming out of it, and this was in the original too, but it didn't have that like fiery visual effect over there, and so it kind of just makes it seem that much more like a robot ship, and it's just a small little detail that I noticed that I really want to point out. And number 8, this is something I've been wanting to point out for a while now, and I've seen it in my comment section, but I just couldn't really find the time to point it out until now. But when Sandy lassos the G-Love robot, you notice over here how the G-Love robot just kind of like splits in half right there and then. In the original game, when Sandy would lasso the robot, Sandy would actually lasso the robot all the way to the side, and that's how the robot would get destroyed. And I feel like that's just a much more realistic feel for the lasso's abilities, because obviously when you're lassoing something, you know, it's a lot easier to just like pull something to the side, you know, that's kind of like the point of a lasso. And so I think that's a small detail that they could still add into the game just to make Sandy's lasso seem that much more intimidating, but not really something that I think is necessary. And number 9, this is a really silly detail, but I don't know, I just find so much joy in this. But in this section here, downtown Bikini Bomb, you can see that there's toilet paper right next to the Duplicatotron, and I'm like, yes, there's toilet paper. And I was just really excited about that, because I know in like the original game, at least in Jellyfish Fields, you know, there was toilet paper all over Jellyfish Fields, and that was really awesome. I don't remember seeing it in the rest of the levels. I might be wrong about that. If there was toilet paper in the other levels, then let me know in the comment section below, but I'm about 90% sure that there wasn't. And so just seeing that the robots are still up to their TP like antics and such is a really cool thing, and just something that I love and appreciate with my heart. TP the town all you want, robots, you know, I'm ready to take you down. And number 10, so I'm kind of cheating over here, but there's also 2 screenshots that came out in the past week that I wanted to make sure I mentioned in this video as well. So this is my 10th bullet point. There wasn't really too much else to talk about that trailer. It was really short, and yep, even I'm starting to run out of things to analyze at this point. I feel like I've analyzed this game to the death, but we did get some new screenshots, and these are apparently screenshots of the PlayStation trophies. And so the first one that we got over here is of Spongebob in the Kelp Forest, and Spongebob looks really good over here. I think this is the same model that we've been seeing this whole time, but something about this angle just makes this model seem really appealing here. So I'm really curious as to seeing if they like spruced up his animations in the final product, because that's something that I've been commenting on. At least I think in the last video I commented on that, and so I'm really hoping that his animation's a little bit more spruced up. And then we got a second shot of King Neptune here, and King Neptune looks awesome over here. He kind of reminds me of something you'd see directly out of a Pixar film, and so King Neptune just looks really badass. You know, you got those guns, you got that definition there. They've really gone all out to make King Neptune literally a king, so that's really awesome. I'm really liking it, and I can't wait to see him in the flesh. flesh in the actual remake. And yeah, friends, that's pretty much everything I got. So let me know in the comment section below, what did you love seeing the most in this trailer? Like, what was your favorite part? What was your least favorite part? Let me know why not in the comment section below. And yeah, let's just keep this Alpha Bikini Rehydrated train going along. So yeah, thank you so much. Okay, please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, subscribe to my channel if you like videos like these, want to see more in the future. Follow me on Twitter or Twitch, and join my Discord server, the Spongy Garden. Special shout out to Reese Gaming, Team Route Sign Gamer, Glitched Alphin, Andrew Coughlin, New Gamer Hub, Abraham Muter, Mass Muter, and Angry Studios. These are my patrons / YouTube members. Like to become a patron and YouTube member, get access to a whole bunch of different perks, and please check out the links in the description box below. But alright, this is Riders, riding out.